Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and compare the Pixel 7 against the Google Pixel 6 and see which specific phone you should go and pick up if you should go and upgrade and all those other things. Now, if you want to pick up either one of these phones, the links will be down in the description. You can get them from there. You can help support the channel at the same time. And the Pixel 6 has gone down in value quite a bit on Amazon, so you might want to go and check it out there if you want to. Now, on the front, there are some key differences for sure. There's overall less bezel on the Google Pixel 7 than on the Pixel 6, as you guys can kind of tell. Now, with the Pixel 6 on the front, we had a 6.4-inch AMOLED display. Now, this is where things are interesting. It was a little bit of a bigger panel, I guess, than the Pixel 7, but you can't really tell because it is a little bit of a thicker feeling phone because of the bezel. Now, with the Pixel 6, you were getting still a very decent display. It's 90 hertz. It's a 1080p panel, so there's nothing crazy about it. But I will say for its price tag at that time, which was $599, it was a pretty decent display. Now this phone I think is around $400 on Amazon, so definitely a much cheaper price tag for sure. And I will definitely tell you this panel, not that bad. But I will say with the Pixel 7, the design of this panel definitely looks a lot better in my opinion. With this phone, you were getting a 6.3-inch AMOLED display. This is also 90 hertz, but it definitely looks like a better panel in my opinion. Now, I will say it does seem like there's less bezel overall, like I mentioned before. It's tailored to have a smaller display by 0.1 inches, but you can't really tell. Like side by side, I mean, they look the same. It does feel like an overall slimmer phone a little bit, but I do kind of like the way the Pixel 7 looks. Maybe it's because of the silver lining, but both look very, very good, but the Pixel 7 definitely looks better. Now, in terms of thinness and thickness, I don't really think there's that big of a difference as you guys can kind of tell. Maybe the Pixel 7's like a little bit thinner, but I can't even tell. It definitely seems like the Pixel 7 is a little bit less wide compared to the Pixel 6, but still very, very good phones on both. We both have USB Type-C ports on the bottom as well as speaker grills, and on the back, very, very interesting design from Google. So we have this, on the Pixel 6, we had this good camera setup. I liked how it kind of went all across the board there, which looked really, really cool. On the Pixel 7, Google has now made a little bit of an interesting choice. They gave us this circular cutout, but they still left this whole entire design thing here. Now, personally, I actually do like that a lot, and it really makes the Pixel lineup stand out even more than before. I liked how the Pixel 6 looked before, but now that they did this with the Pixel 7, I've seen conflicting things. Some people like it, some people don't. I actually do like this design. It's pretty much the same type of camera setup. I'm sure it's been improved. And on the back, this was what was interesting. This was like, I don't know, the mint color or something like that, but there's two different whites here. This one is more like a light white. This one is more like an actual like starlight white kind of thing that Apple's been going for. So both support wireless charging, both have reverse wireless charging, which is really cool for a cheaper phone like this. It's really cool that these things have that. Both have IP certification as well, and both have SIM card trays. So in terms of the outside, that kind of covers it up there. Now, in terms of software and longevity, this is another interesting thing. So with the Pixel 6, this phone is still going to be supported for many, many more years to come. This phone is not going to be outdated anytime soon. And, just like with any other Pixel, the day the Pixel 7 gets an update, it's usually the day the Pixel 6 is going to get an update too. And this phone is going to be here for many, many more years to come. And I would say even after it's done officially getting support, people are still going to be using this phone quite a bit. So this phone is not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm still a humongous fan of this device, but with the things that Google has been doing with the Tensor chipset now, it does seem like the Pixel 7 is definitely going to outlast the Pixel 6, so at least that's kind of what I'm assuming. But if they are doing this, yearly upgrade where they're going through and actually, giving us a new Tensor chipset every single year, I think there can be a point where Google is probably going to start extending their lifespan of these phones even more than before. They've done this one time before with the Pixel 6, and I think they may end up doing it within the Pixel 6 lineup again. So we'll see what happens, but I do think within these two devices, the Pixel 7 is going to outlast the Pixel 6, but the 6 is still going to be here for many, many more years to come. So that kind of covers it up there. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between both these devices. The Google Pixel 6 has that Google Tensor chipset, the first version, with 8 gigabytes of RAM, where the Google Pixel 7 has that Google Tensor G2 chipset inside, so it's a newer processor with 8 gigabytes of RAM as well. So let's go and see which one's the faster one between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are cleared out in the background except for this one, obviously. So now that we're into it, the Google Pixel 6 is here and the Pixel 7 is here. So let's get into it. Phone call is 3, 2, 1. Kind of look at the Pixel 6 was faster there. I will say closing out the application was faster and smoother on the Pixel 7. Camera 3, 2, 1. Two different pop-ups here, so we'll kind of let that one slide. Let's go ahead and take a photo. So 3, 2, 1. And let's go and open up this photo. Very, very similar performance on both. Play Store 3, 2, 1. So the Pixel 7 definitely far faster here. The Pixel 6 a little bit slower, not a big problem at all. Scrolling through, like I said before, 90 hertz panels on both, and both seem to be doing the same thing, which is interesting. It is kind of funny, this one has a longer line than this one. Hopping out of this one, let's go and get into some of these third-party applications that I have in both. Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Now, I've already opened up both of these applications on these phones with the Pixel 6, for months and a year now since I've had it. But this one, I've also done the same thing. So, very interesting that the Pixel 7 has actually taken a longer time to load into this game than on the Pixel 6, considering I've actually opened this application on this one yesterday, and I didn't even open it up for like a while on this one. Let's do Snake versus Blocks, 3, 2, 1. And the Pixel 6 again is a faster one. Very, very interesting. Let's do Stack, 3, 2, 1. So they were very, very close here. I don't know if there was like a direct winner here. Let's go and hop out of this one. Let's go ahead and do Twitter, 3, 2, 1. Again, the Pixel 7 is the faster one. I'm not really too sure why there's so many differences here. Snapchat 3, 2, 1. I was expecting the Pixel 7 to be faster, but I mean, it is what it is. This is a brand new phone, 3, 2, 1. So that's kind of what happens when you have a newer phone. There can be lots of issues, and I'm sure within the next few months, I'm sure this one will be better. But for now, this one, the Pixel 6, still seems to be faster for me. But let's go try opening up a big game. Let's try Genshin Impact 3, 2, 1. Now, this is one of the bigger games that I usually play on both, so it's going to be interesting to see if this one is substantially faster on the Pixel 6. And I just played this game on the Pixel 7 today, or maybe like not even like 45 minutes ago. And yeah, the Pixel 6 definitely was faster to load into it. Not a crazy big difference, and I'm not even too sure why I'm getting into this panel again, considering I've already played Genshin Impact on this phone. But I will tell you, from the few games that I've tested, it does kind of seem like to me that the Pixel 7 still has a long ways to go. I'm sure there needs to be a few more updates here and there. The Tensor G2, we kind of saw this again last year with the Pixel 6. It wasn't really that much faster than I even think the Pixel 5 or even like the Galaxy S21 at the time. So I think it needs to be improved on the Pixel 7, but I'm still hopeful for it. Hopefully it does get improved throughout the next few weeks and months. Now, in terms of before, for sure, the Pixel 6, I think, was the faster one there. Now, in terms of the camera setup, they both have almost the same exact type of setup for the most part. So they're both dual camera setups, which is really, really cool. They're 50 megapixel wide angle lenses. I don't even know why they're that high, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. Now, I will tell you, one really interesting thing is that they both can do 4K at 60 on the back, but the Pixel 6 can only do 1080p on the front. The Pixel 7 can now do 4K at 60 on the front, which is really, really nice. Now, last year with the Pixel 6 camera, I think this thing was pretty good. I don't think it was really that bad, but I've always had complaints kind of with the actual UI itself. I feel like it's kind of clunky and they don't really give us too many features compared to Samsung's, but I will say compared to iPhones, it's almost the same exact thing. With this type of camera, you're getting a really good ultra-wide camera whenever it works. You're getting a solid, camera there too. So there's a lot of capability here for sure. I'm not too sure why my ultra-wide camera is not working here. But what I will tell you is this is a camera that you could probably use for many, many more years to come. The only thing it's lacking compared to like some other phones, maybe a telephoto lens, but I will say it's still a very good camera for sure. But then you have something like the Pixel 7, which a lot of the improvements, even though it's kind of the same type of camera from before, the same megapixel count and everything, you're getting 4K at 60 on the front, but you're also getting the newer improvements with that G2 chipset inside. So Google did say there's going to be lots of improvements coming. There's going to be the unblurring effect, which is really cool. So this is definitely a camera that I think has been improved for sure. It is pretty much the same type of complaints that I've had before. Like we still have night sight, but again, the modes that we had are still there. It's like the same exact things. When I look at Samsung, they throw in so many features into that phone, but between these two, you're getting a better front-facing camera and you're getting a better overall back camera too, but most of it is due to software and not really the hardware. So to kind of sum up this whole entire video, what I would tell you is I think definitely the Pixel 7 is the better way to go. It's definitely a better upgrade. You're getting, a better display. I would say it's kind of a better looking phone on the front. That was one thing that kind of stood out to me. You're getting a better, build quality. I mean, it's the same type of build quality and everything. But the weird things are you're getting a smaller size battery on the Pixel 7. They decreased it by about almost 300 milliamp hours, which is pretty crazy. So we'll see how that actually affects it. I'll do a battery test very soon, but I'm not a fan of that. But I will say I like the design of the front now. It looks a little bit better, at least with the silver model. And yeah, I think this is a really good phone. It's going to last longer than the Pixel 6. But I still think a phone like the Pixel 6 is still very, very relevant. You're getting a bigger size battery here. It's like, I would say it's like 90% or 85% of what the Pixel 7 is. The only things you're lacking is 4K 60 on the front, maybe like the better chipset, but I found this one to be a little bit faster, which was pretty crazy. So that kind of covers up this comparison. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.